What up, y'all? It's the Morning Hustle with L'Oreal and myself, Kyle Santillian. And one thing we always love is having guests come by the Morning Hustle. And this young lady here today with us has been doing a thing for quite some time now, has amazing music, and got some new stuff coming your way. And we're excited to talk about it. Queen Naija's in the building.
Thank you.
What's up? What's up? How you
it's
feeling?
Me clapping for myself.
You should. We should all clap for
add
ourselves.
on to the hands so it could, sound like a lot of people. I'm good though. I'm ready to drop my EP on Friday.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming.
It has been a long time coming. The new EP coming on Friday is called After the Butterflies. And it has been a long time. You've been dropping singles over the course of the last year or so. But other than that, what has been, do you feel like is the holdup and the things that's been, causing a little bit of time to go by?
Really just the business behind it, to be honest. Like, people, especially my supporters, they be like, where the music at?
Right.
But they don't understand that, like, I could go in the studio and make a song, but that don't mean I could drop it, like, the same day or right after. Like, you have to make sure that all the splits are done correctly between the producers and I'm writing on my stuff too, but like you just got to make sure everything is done. And then you're not only waiting on producers, you're waiting on like their lawyers. And sometimes they have multiple lawyers and like that, honestly, that's just within it. Like I wish it was different, but that really caused a hold up on like a lot of my newer music.
For sure. Which
is why I just decided to put out an EP instead of an album, because I feel like EPs are just as great as albums.
Yeah.
And I also feel I kind of like EPs like a little bit more than albums.
So we're in that weird space, right? Because that's kind of been a conversation when it comes to the music industry in general. Mm-hmm. People are dropping more singles now. People are concerned with more singles than full body albums anyway. Mm-hmm. So if you give them an EP, which is typically 5 to 7 songs, something like that.
Yeah, mine's have 10, but
your EP is so a lot of people would consider that an album. 10 songs.
Yeah, I know, but not with my contract. I had to have more, but I mean, that's a pretty long EP to me too. But
yeah, for sure.
I think it's just just enough to hold the people over, until the next project.
For sure. I was going to ask you, or I thought your answer might have been because your last full-length album was 2020, that maybe everything happening with the pandemic kind of maybe threw a monkey wrench in things. Like, how was your transition, being that your album came out in 2020 and the world shut down in 2020?
I wasn't able to really promote it the way that I wanted to. I couldn't, be visible and be around. Everything was like on Zoom. It was really annoying for it to be my first album. You know what I'm saying? Like your first album, that was like my baby, and I really appreciate like how it still did amazing, Mm-hmm. But I feel like now that we can be outside again, I want to do it the right way, and in order for us to do it, the right way, we have to make sure all the business is done before that. So
for sure.
Yeah, I mean it just that really it did affect my promo back then, but it still did good. I can't really complain.
I mean, you got a certification, right? Then you just get 500,000
gold. It just went gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like not too many people can say that about their project.
My first project went gold.
First project went gold, and like you said, with all the hindrances of a pandemic.
Yeah. That means I must be a really good artist. That means I must have some good music.
I think you got some good music. I think the people would agree with that for sure.
Okay.
All right, so good music. Speaking of good music, and of course the EP is coming out on Friday, but you have been dropping a couple of songs already. Hate Our Love went crazy.
Yeah.
You and Big Sean. I love it because you used the old Jay-Z sample for Song Cry.
Yeah.
And did a little rework on that. Talk to me about that process.
These samples.
You said you hate samples?
No. I said these samples.
Oh,
I love samples.
Yeah.
I love samples, but I've been doing some samples back to back a little bit, but it's okay. It's because I make it my own.
For sure.
I read that song. I dropped that song. Was that 2021 or 2022?
I believe, right?
2022.
Mm-hmm.
I dropped that song. It literally like soon as it hit it was like January, I believe. But that seems to still be doing amazing, and really like working with Big Sean was just. I think that was one of my favorite people to work with.
Is it because you guys have those Michigan roots?
Yeah, well, it could be that. It could because like he's super down to earth. He was super supportive. Like. He didn't make me feel like a newcomer or like a amateur. Like he just really, and I just think he posted something not too long ago. It was like a plaque that he got that I got too. Mm-hmm. It was from I don't know where it's from. But it was something for Hate Our Love.
Yeah.
And so till this day he's still like
supporting
and stuff. What was the question again? I forgot.
It was just about the new
Crazy.
singles that you're dropping. I said, so I know that one went crazy, and then I wanted to move forward from there to let's talk about it.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, because these lyrics, man, people are saying, yo, Queen Naija's putting these toxic men on blast.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of the
I'm
lyrics
sorry.
are just
I'm
no,
cutting
the
you off.
lyrics are just kind of like really coming at some guys for, I guess, not really handling the business the way they should be.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that song was dropped the beginning of this year, which is almost the end now, but
Right.
it was dropped really to just set the tone for my new era that was about to come. That was back when I was supposed to be releasing an album. and I mean, it did what it did. It did well, but I just I don't know what it is with me and this promo stuff. Like it's hard for me to keep up with promo. Maybe because like I just be in my own world, but that did well, but it's just, I don't know. People were saying that I was bashing the men and stuff like that. So I wanted to I guess, put out something more positive or whatever. So I kind of got off that tip or whatever. And then I think the next song that I put out after that, what did I put out after?
Affirmations?
Yes, the words of affirmations. I wanted something more like positive. And that wasn't like a men bashing song. It was
Not
just,
at all.
Yeah,
that was
it
all about
just
the kind of love that you're
that
looking
you want
for
to be
as
received.
a woman, right?
Yeah. And I really love that song. Like
Yeah.
I really, really do. That's actually one of my favorite songs on my project. But yeah, so I only released I released 4 songs. So then after that it was the No Fake Love.
And you got the video out for that.
Yeah,
You
I
out
did
on
that.
the boat
I
doing your
honestly,
thing, having a good time.
yeah, it was supposed to be released the beginning of the summer, but I chose to do Words of Affirmation instead.
Yeah.
Because I just, to be honest, like I'm an R&B girl at heart. You know, I really love the slow jams and R&B music, and I know what radio requires sometimes. You know, I didn't do it just because of radio, but
For
like
sure.
the upbeat stuff and the up tempo, the rappers and the urban and this and that. But I just really wanted to drop Words of Affirmation.
I love it. And I think you should. I mean, if that's what you love, obviously as an artist, you want to make music that you love. You want to make the kind of things that you feel genuinely as a person and put that out on in audio form. You know what I'm saying? So if affirmations is that for you, then absolutely you should put that out, and that should be the lane that you should go in. It does cause me to ask this question about where you think the music is for R&B. People are all, this has been an ongoing conversation, so this is not a new question,
Right.
but I would love to hear your take on it in terms of where R&B is right now. Some people saying R&B is dead, and then the way that rappers are singing now has affected R&B artists and the type of music that they make. Where do you fall in that conversation?
I don't necessarily think R&B is dead. I feel like there's a lot of R&B artists out there that still make really good R&B music, but we just got to go with the time.
Yeah.
I mean, we just have to go with the time. And like, as much as I would want to go back and make a song like Diana Ross or Whitney Houston, like no, it's like, you know, you have to keep moving with the time, and it feels like, you know, you got to give the people what they want too, because they're our consumers as well.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think it's dead. I don't feel like R&B is, you know, usually gets the recognition that it deserves.
Right.
And maybe the underground artists, they don't get as much recognition as they deserve, but it's definitely still here, and you know, I just want to help be a part of it and keep it very like just alive.
For sure. I think you're doing that. People gonna see after the Butterflies EP coming Friday. They gonna see.
And then
sure.
there's different types of R&B too. Every artist is different. Like, you don't want the same old generic sounds from every person. Every person brings something different. So like, there's different kinds of R&B. There's like R&B soul, and then there's like R&B trap, and you know, Mariah the Scientist said something about A and B, like alternative. She like alternative, you know, music mixed with R&B. R&B can mix with so many different things. R&B can mix with pop, and like R&B is just really, people need R&B.
I think the thing about R&B, to your point about affirmations, is about really that love music that a lot of people are missing. You know what I mean? So when you're able to bring it back, I think people appreciate that. I wanted to ask you about this too, because along with the title for Let's Talk About It, you started a podcast.
Yeah, call Let's Talk About It. Yeah.
The same title. And I saw that on the podcast you made a comment about how you're somewhat envious at times about mothers that don't, not mothers, women that don't have any kids.
Yeah.
And you can move a certain way when you have kids, and you have to move a certain way. You can move a certain way without kids.
Yeah.
And you have to move a certain way with kids. I know that for a fact. I'm a father of 3. There's plenty of times where, hey, come to the Queen Naija show. Well, I can't because my son got a football game.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So talk to me a little bit about you being envious about women that don't have any kids and how you would like to move at times.
When I say I envy women, that I don't mean, it's not a real jealousy. Like, I don't want to sit up here and say, oh, I'm jealous, y'all. It's like, sometimes, let me just say, I spent my 20s pretty much having kids. I only got 2. But I spent I started young. I had CJ at 19. And then, I raised him, and then I went through a lot of things with his dad. And right after that, then my career started. And then I thought that I was going to be free to him. Then I got pregnant again. And now I just turned 28. So, just throughout that time, even though I had a good support system, I still things that I see, other moms on social media and other artists, how they can just go and fly out to these different events. Sometimes I don't have a live-in nanny. I have a babysitter, from time to time, but it's just it comes with a lot of mom guilt, and then as my kids get older, they demand my time. So it's not that I really envy them. It's just that sometimes I think about how it could have been if I would have waited to have kids and enjoyed my 20s and really got to know myself from myself and not in a relationship or anything like that. But I just had to jump right into being a mom, and so much that I kind of not forgot about, but I didn't have the time to really grow up myself. So I'm still
sacrifice some of yourself for your kids.
Yeah, but you know what? That's my fault. That's my fault. So if I want to lay down and have kids, I got to make sure I take care of them and I raise them. But that comes with the decisions that you make. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think it's nothing for you to be ashamed about, though. I mean, there's plenty of us that have been in that same boat, that are in the same boat. It's people that, have kids and unfortunately, they're not even being as responsible as you are with yours. You know what I mean? So, I understand the acknowledgement of that, but I don't think it's something you should feel bad about.
I don't feel bad about it. I'm not ashamed of it. I just wonder from time to time, That's why maybe now if I could, my kids, it's starting to get a little bit easier. My youngest is about to be 5 and my oldest is about to be 9. So, they not in diapers no more.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll be a little bit more easier for me and I could start moving around a little bit more. Because when your kids can't talk, it's you don't want to leave them.
Yeah.
So.
Has it been tough for you? Because even the way you came in the game with YouTube and things of that nature, has it been tough for you where so many eyes and so many people just kind of knowing about your personal life outside of you just putting out albums and stuff like that?
Has it been tough?
You know what I mean? I know for some artists, they're able to say, this is who I am as an artist, this is my music, and everything that's going on in my personal life, they kind of do their best to shield it from the public. And I kind of feel like you came in the game the opposite way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an open book, so I really, sorry for all the stuttering.
Yeah, you're good.
I didn't struggle with anything, about my business being out there. It helped me, to be honest. I mean, it helped me, it helped my fans, well, I don't want to say fans, my supporters. It helped them really feel like they could relate to me, and that helps me a lot with my music. So, I mean, it didn't really do nothing bad for me, I would say. But it do get tough sometimes when people, think they have opinions on, have opinions on your life and they think they know everything just by, a small little clip. But that's what comes with it, once again.
Yeah, for sure. Blame Queen Naija.
Yeah.
Let's go there real quick with it. I know it's a social media thing, and there was somebody that came out, for the people that don't know, that came out and said, when they were looking for the guys that did the deep sea dive in the submarine and they were searching for it and they couldn't find it, the guy said, blame Queen Naija because she's not helping or participating with the search. Yeah. And you told him in social media, see you in court.
That whole thing was a joke. It was just,
that's what I was
trolling. Yeah, I was trolling. It was funny to me.
Is it a love-hate relationship with social media sometimes, though? Because people can get at you in terms of what we were talking about a second ago in your personal life. And then sometimes you're joking and people taking you too serious.
Yeah, I think it's a love-hate thing. but I think it's something I can't change, so I just get used to it. Gotta get used to it. This is my life.
Yeah. Yeah, social media is like that sometimes, man.
Yeah.
You gotta have thick skin when you're out dealing with these
Yeah,
people.
you do. And I think I might be a little bit numb now, to be honest. Like, things don't really bother me like how they used to. I don't know if that's a bad thing, if I want to say numb. But
Was there a moment where you kind of flipped the switch, or is it a gradual change that you just toughened up a little bit?
I think it's gradual. I've been called so many things in the book that I know I'm not. And I used to really, like, there was a point in time where I used to, like, I used to cry. Like, it would really bother me. It would get to me because, like, the average person don't know what a million people are thinking about them. And I don't think that's healthy because people could think so many things. But, like, when you can, like, literally see it, it's like all eyes are on you and a lot of those things aren't even true. It can be really depressing. It can make you want to just kind of hide in a shell.
Yeah.
It can make people suicidal, but glory to my God, he gave me strength and I know how to, withstand all that stuff. So,
Yeah, for sure. That's what's up. And then all of that is, of course, material for the music, right?
Yeah. They be saying that all publicity is good. I don't know if I quite believe that, but
yeah,
if people are talking, I mean,
I'm pretty sure there was times where you were like people to be quiet. Like, we've seen the most recent thing between, the father of your children and one guy saying, oh, he's cheating on her. And you're like, you guys are defending your relationship. Like, I'm sure those things after a while, like, how do you respond to that?
How do I respond to it? I don't. I don't respond to it. I don't respond to it because I know what's going on at home. That's all it really matters. I know what's going on, and if I gotta check somebody about something at home, then that's what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really like that's sure. Between. But you gotta know the media is gonna think what the media is gonna think. You just gotta. I don't feel like explaining anything anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If they gonna talk, then let them.
Unless
talk. It's like something super. Like if it's something super federal where I'm gonna do some jail time for it.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, just let people talk,
Yeah, for sure.
That's good regardless. I'm at the end of the day, when I cut off social media, I have my real life to deal with at home. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's one of the things that people respect about you, though, man. Like I said, you said earlier, you're an open book. We've seen you come up. We've seen the ups and downs of relationships, and you're just doing well in your career, and the album's, still making sales, and you're about to drop the new project. And I think that realism that you bring as a person is what people love about you when it comes to listening to your music and you as an artist. You know what I mean? So, yeah, definitely keep that up for sure.
I will. Thank you.
For sure. When it comes to this album, excuse me, EP.
Let's not say album. That's too much pressure.
That's right. When it comes to this EP, man, what are some of the things that you have going on this album? I know you got some guests. What are some things you're expecting the people to love about this EP?
I think they're gonna love the vulnerability. Of course, I'm always vulnerable, but I'm being vulnerable about something new that something new. Of course, everyone knows about my old situations and things like that. But I haven't really been on YouTube that much or to really show that much of my life. So this is really me. The music is really telling about the things I probably went through or how I felt or in certain moments or whatever. So I think they're going to just really appreciate hearing about where I was at a point. Because it's not where I am now. Because remember, I recorded this in 2022. So whatever the music is about now is an experience that I went through before. And like maybe a dark place in my life or in my relationship where I was before, and I'm comfortable enough now to share it with people, and I think I have to because that's the kind of artist I am. I'm a very transparent artist, and everyone know that Queen is not perfect, and my life is not perfect. So
yeah,
I can't try to portray that.
Have you ever? Because I know it's your actual birth name, Queen Naija.
Thank you. Thank you for addressing that, because people be like, what's up, Naija? What's up, Naija? Like, my name is Queen, but,
Yeah. Just talk to me. Have your mother, your father, have your parents ever said, this is why we gave you this name, Queen Naija?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that. So my mom, I don't know my dad. I never met my dad. Actually, I heard that he passed away in 2005. My dad is from Yemen.
Okay.
So he was from a different country or whatever. But basically, my dad's name was, I guess, Muhammad Naji or Nagi. So I don't know how to pronounce it. But my grandmother's name is Queen. So my mom named me Queen after her mother. Really to just, I guess, I don't know, for a different reason, to maybe get approval from her mother or whatever. And then my middle name was after my dad. So if his name was Naji, then mine is Naija. So she was going to switch it around to Naija Queen, but she was like, no, I'm going to leave it Queen Naija because, you know, my daughter is going to be a star. And this is when I was like in the womb still, you know? So I think it's also really important to speak life over your children. And like their names mean a lot, you know, what you name your kids. So,
For sure.
I mean, that's what was said. And, you know, I'm here trying to make the stardom.
Well, you're doing your thing. You're well on your way. I mean, you're already a star out here. The music is good. The new EP is coming out after the Butterflies. We want everybody to check it out. And for all the people watching right now, listening right now, man, I'll leave you the last word. What do you want to say to your fans, your supporters, and everybody that's invested in what you do as an artist?
What do I want to say? I want to say thank you to you guys for always supporting me. And that sounds cliche, but just waiting on me. I know I take long at times, but it's always worth the wait. And I want you guys to know that whatever y'all may be going through out there on this day, know that you're not alone. Know that God is with you. Go to him first for everything. If you seek him first, everything else will fall into place.
We are the Morning Hustle.